what exactly is compatibility in relationship?
Okay. Relationship. All right. Thank you so much for having me once again. So for me, compatibility for me means you get along well with each other. Compatibility. That means you don't force yourself on someone. You respect each other's lifestyle. You respect each other's ideas, opinion, suggestions, perspective. So compatibility doesn't really mean, okay, he loves singing, I love singing. He loves dancing, I love dancing. Everything I love is what he loves. So for me, you're getting along with each other, despite the fact that you're not the same. He might be an introvert, I might be an extrovert, yet we still get along very well. Yet we still respect each other's lifestyle and all that. So that's compatibility for me.
Okay, so that means in your own words now, is we getting along with each other, respecting each other's
Yes.
perspective. Okay, so can we also call that maybe having same values or common interests?
Yes, same values, common interests. You share common interests. You have the same value. Yes, you can still call it like that.
Okay, but why
Yes.
do we
Sorry,
always
and common. Sorry to cut you short.
okay.
And common interest. Now, when we talk about common interest, it means you're having a different opinion or a different hobby,
Okay.
yet you don't quarrel or fight over it. That's common interest. So you accept you're sharing that common interest together. It's a different thing having the same interest. I love football, he loves football.
Okay.
That's the same thing. So common interest is he loves this, I love this. It's different, yet you still get along. So you're sharing the same common interest, the same value. So that's compatibility for me.
Okay. So I'm trying to strike a balance now about the common interest. So it's possible we love different things, but we still respect each other's perspective. We still respect that okay, this is what she loves and this is what he loves. So but where do we get this idea of I can sing and he can sing? Okay, I love football and I want a wife that will also love football, or I love going out and I also want a wife that goes out. So how can we blend that most times? Because
So for me, it's not compatibility.
Okay.
For me, it's not compatibility. When you're trying to find someone, that means if you get someone that doesn't like what you like, that means you're ready to change that person. You're ready to force that person. So compatibility means this person doesn't like what you like, and yet you don't want to change that person to become you. It might now be willingly, the person might change over time because you understand?
Okay.
Like he might like football, I might not like football. Over time, maybe watching it, before I know it, I have interest in it. You understand? It's a different thing than for me now forcing you. Me, I don't like going out. Why is it that you don't like going out? Can't you just go out? You understand? So you're now trying to push that person to be what you are. So that's not compatibility. So you're forcing that person. Compatibility means you're ready to like, this is what I am, and this person, this is what he is, and you're able to respect that person, and you get along. So if you're trying to force someone, eventually you won't get along.
Wow.
And in trying to force that person, will now bring pretense. So at the long run, you won't be yourself. So compatibility means you're with that person and you're at your best. You can talk about anything, you can relate, you can, not that, this person, he has come again, no, he doesn't like this thing. Quickly switch. That's not compatibility for me. So once you're ready to like force the person, once you're ready to like, the person must be what you be, the person must like what you like, then it is not compatibility. You're not compatible. So, and along the line, the other party might be thinking now that, why is it that you always want me to like what you don't like? That is when it now comes in a way that people now say, we didn't get along, so we had to.
Oh.
Because everyone likes someone that will accept them for who they are. And that is when you're thinking about compatibility, you think ahead. Now, there's no one that is 100% compatible, and there's no one that is 100% incompatible. It now depends now on who you are and what your compatibility is. For example, now, for someone like, okay, I have a roommate then in school. She said she likes a man that, is it that shout at her or slap or something like that, like shout, slap. That is when she knows that yes, the man is a man. That is when her head is correct. That is when, but for a guy to sincerely, but for a guy to just know. Now imagine that for her, and now cannot go.
Network, the network is fluctuating. Can you hear me?
Then it shocked me, like how someone be saying this kind. Because
hello.
She's this kind of person that is this. That is, so that man. Hello, can you hear me?
No, we missed you at some point. It was fluctuating. So you talked about her wanting a man that shouts at her and that beats her. So that was where we stopped. It was fluctuating actually.
So for her now, getting somebody like that now, she's okay, they are compatible. It is not. So that is when it now depends on it. Because I might husband then, when we met as friends, there was something he did that that was when hello.
Okay, can you rewind a little? We've missed so many things. The network was fluctuating.
Okay.
So we stopped at just pick it from she loves the kind of man that shouts or beats her, yeah.
For her, that is compatibility. For her, she's compatible with that kind of person.
Wow.
Now, for me, I am not compatible with that kind of person. I don't know if you get.
Okay.
So that is where it now comes with individuals knowing what you're compatible with. Because I might state what I will say in someone that I will feel, okay, we share the same interest. For me, share the same value, the same interest. Like he's an introvert, extrovert, I'm an introvert. Fine, I like it that way. You understand? But another person will come and tell you this is. So it now depends on individuals now. But for me, compatibility is you share the same you share common interests and you're able to get along despite the fact that you're not the same. Despite the fact that you find out that this person, I love singing, he doesn't love singing. I love going out, he doesn't love going. Yet you still get along.
Oh, all right. So in essence, compatibility might possibly not have anything to do with you doing the same thing the same way.
Exactly.
You might be doing different things, but the fact that you're not contradicting each other and you are getting along with each other. Makes the compatibility. Yes. All right. Okay. So lastly, let me quickly ask this also. So you talked about having same values and common interests. I love how you talked about the common interest. That is, it's possible both of you don't really, let's say the husbands like football, the wife does not like it, but yet the respect of, okay, what you like and what I don't like is there. Okay, so now, does a role of getting to know what I want, what my values are, is there a role that can also play in terms of the kind of person I'm looking at to get married to? Now let me quickly start example. Let me start example of your roommate that loves a man that beats her or slaps her. So can I say maybe because she understands herself to be maybe stubborn, and I'm trying to so is it possible now that knowing yourself and your values has a lot to do with knowing who can be compatible with you?
Knowing yourself, yes, we can put it that way. And at the same time, knowing yourself does not now say, just like the way I was like, she's this, he's this. So knowing yourself doesn't still mean that it must still be the same way. Like, okay, I know myself to be this, So because I know myself to be this, it must be that same way for my spouse. I don't know if you get it.
Okay.
For instance, she is saying if she doesn't have someone, if the person doesn't beat her and does that, she's not this, she's not that. Do you know that it's still very much possible for her to still meet someone that doesn't beat her, yet she will listen.
Okay.
And along the line, they will now find it that they are compatible with each other. So it's still possible. So you can still know your value, know the kind of person you are with in terms of being compatible. So it's not necessarily because my value is this, my value is that. Okay, because it is this, it is that, it has to be the same thing with him. You can still realize it is not the same thing, and you can still work around it. That is, if you feel it is possible, you work around it. That is to say, let me put it this way. It is possible that I love someone,
okay,
and yet we are not compatible. Do you know it's possible?
Yeah, okay.
That you love someone, yet you're not compatible. It's very much possible that you love someone, you're not compatible with that person. Now, this is it. If you love someone and you're not compatible with the person, you can talk about it. Not that you want to change the person. It's a different thing. You talk about it. Okay, this is it. This is it. Not that you're now imposing to that person that that person must change, that person must be this, that person must be that. So you could advise, you could talk about it that this. Now, if the person looks at it that truly what I'm doing is wrong. Do you know that some people that might be doing some things that are wrong, that they may not even know that it's wrong because of their upbringing, the society, the background. So for you to see those things and you talk about it, the person might now change due to the fact that he or she was able to see what he or she wasn't seeing before. And before you know it, you will be compatible. So it's possible you love someone and yet you're not compatible. So you talk about it.
And in that in such that, do you think it's also healthy? Let's say, for instance, I think I added to my post that how can you differentiate what your heart is saying and what your head is saying? So in the situation whereby the person you are in love and you are not compatible, so if talking it out is not working, do you think the heart will be able to calm down to what the head is saying? Let's say your head is saying, this thing you are trying to go into, for this person not to see what you're saying, or for this person not to do this or that as you both discuss, then there's a problem somewhere. But the heart is still longing for such relationship. How do you think there can be a balance in such a way?
So apart from you talking about it,
Okay.
You yourself, you talk about it, fine. You be open-minded. Then you yourself, you tell yourself the truth. You could talk about it, and yet the person might not change. Now, we're talking about heart and head. In my own, heart is now the emotions.
Yes, I agree.
I love this person. I don't want to leave the person. I love this person and this and that, and yet you know deep inside of you that you're not compatible. You don't get along. You don't disagree to agree. You disagree, there is no agreement. I don't know if you get, you're never yourself. You're always pretending because you just want to please him. You're not compatible. You just want to please him because you want to be what he wants you to be. You're forcing it. Then your head is now the reality. Your head is telling you that this is the reality. This is what is happening now. So it is now you to now decide if to go with your head or to go with your emotions. So in times like that, you have to tell yourself the truth. Like you have to be true to yourself. This person that we are not compatible. If I go ahead to marry the person, can we spend 5 years together? That is when you now think about the future. When you now think about it, and we are talking about marriage. Is eternity. So you don't have the mindset that if it did not work out, you will go. That's a different thing. You're already from the beginning. That means you're ready. So that means when you enter it, before you know, you still go out. But if you're thinking of, okay, you want to spend eternity with this person, you're spending life with this person. Okay, now think that if we go ahead, can I spend so years with this person? So that is when you now tell yourself the truth. That is when you now realize, this thing cannot work out. Then at times it will be difficult, like very difficult. I find myself in a situation like that before. It was quite difficult for me. I know that this person, fine, we're into each other, but along the line he wasn't, and I started thinking, will I now force myself to, like, now imagine forcing someone to marry you, or forcing, so tell me, how will you live long in that marriage? It's not possible now. So that's when you now tell yourself the truth, that this person, you've tried everything possible, you were open-minded, you talk about it, you're yourself, you understand. It's not as if you're forcing the person, but you're just trying to see if it could work. But if you're trying to see that the compatibility is not working, we don't get along, we are always at loghead, things are always, so imagine in a relationship is like that. So how will it be in marriage? That's relationship. And relationship is even this lovey-dovey. So relationship is even this period that it will be shacking you. So imagine it's not even shacking you. So is it when you are now married that it will now shack you? So that's when you now tell yourself the truth that this thing, no, even though it will be hard, you just have to let go.
Thank you so much, Mama. Give me just a few minutes. All right, so beautiful points there, beautiful points. So I actually got this. The art is, your art is the emotions, while the head is the reality. So while you're in relationship and the thing is not shacking you like it should, because relationship, as we all know, should be the lovey-dovey, all loving and all best. We see the good sides always in relationship. We see the beauty, we see the glamour, we see everything. But the moment it gets to marriage, then reality is done and over. So if you're actually not finding it easy in the relationship, so you need to give a future think about it. All right, thank you so much, Madam Mudupe. All right, everyone in the studio, if you want to drop your comments or you want to call in, please, the line is open. Yes, call in, drop your comments in the comment section. Let's have your view. What do you have to say about compatibility? Yes, Excellency. You're welcome.
Hello, good evening.
Good evening, sir.
How are you doing?
Very well, very well. Thank you.
It has been an interesting topic I've been following since, and it's an interesting one.
Thank you so much.
Quickly, I just want to point us to some basic things when it comes to compatibility.
Okay.
And these things, they are categorized into 4.
Okay.
When you're talking about compatibility now, you must look at it. Are you physically compatible?
Okay.
Intellectually compatible?
Okay.
Spiritually compatible? Then emotionally compatible?
Physically compatible. Please start from there. I'm interested in that.
Now, when you talk about physical compatibility now,
okay,
you should know the kind of a lady or a guy you actually want in terms of height,
wow,
in terms of color. You understand? In terms of, sense of dressing.
Okay, sir. Sorry to ask this, actually. So when we are talking about the physical, of what, I don't know, does the physical really come to play here? So what if the person I'm compatible with does not have the physical qualities?
No, we're talking about compatibility here.
Okay, sir.
And what will actually make you want to be around someone, what attracts you to someone. You get it now? We have different types of people. You understand? We have different types of people.
Yes.
When you're talking about compatibility now, something must have attract you. The first thing, there are some people, no matter how good they are, no matter the level of value that is embedded in them, foresight, seeing them as person or in terms of physique, you might be discouraged. You might be discouraged. But until you pay attention to some things, you might not be convinced. But by the virtue of the physical appearance alone, that might be the first thing that attracts you. Now, getting closer, you discover that not only the physical appearance that attracts you, there are more to it. In terms of intellectuality, I hope you're getting me now.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
In terms of the spiritual aspect of the person, in terms of emotional aspect of the person. So you discover that all you have ever needed as a person is embedded in that person. And there are some that physical might not be there. They might not mind the physical compatibility. All they want is what does he or she has upstairs? What can she offer? You understand?
Yes.
What are your values? What are your goals? Where do you want to find yourself in the next 10 years? And so on and so forth. What are your values when it comes to raising children? What are your values when it comes to marital life? What are your values when it comes to business? Some once they are convinced about your value and they can see it playing out, especially even before you go into details or you go into the relationship, it's all over you. The testimonies are there. So that alone is enough for them to believe that no, this is the kind of person I'm actually looking for. And that's why I'm saying that it is in 4 categories. So it depends on what Mr. A or Mr. B believes in. But in the real sense, they are divided into 4, just like I said. When it comes to the intellectual aspect now, the person wants to see, okay, when I bring up an idea, how far do you, decipher this idea? How far do you digest it? Do I need to spend months just to make sure that you get it right? And the time is not there, but there are some. Once you talk about it, the person immediately, it grabs it. And before you know, they organize and they execute. I hope you're getting it now.
Yes, please, I am.
So now, when it comes to spirituality now, you see, this one is very sensitive. When you talk about spirituality, it is not a crime that you are a praying woman or a praying man and your wife, or your friend happens not to be a praying person. You can help her in that aspect. You understand? But the most important thing is she ready to blend? That is when the actual compatibility comes in. You understand?
Yes, sir.
In most cases, there are some things that you might not have, but when you see someone that will actually help you, you grab it and you launch into that idea. That is compatibility. But even when you are being encouraged, you are being led, do this, and you say, Rara, I'm not. I don't believe. Then it means you are not compatible. Go back and check. Most of our ministers of God, I'm talking about spiritual compatibility now.
Okay.
They marry a shy woman that cannot even stand before 2 people, 3 people.
Okay,
but
wait,
over time,
hold on, sir.
Yeah.
Talking about the spiritual compatibility. So,
yes,
do I really need to marry a woman that can do all the things I'm doing? Maybe, for instance, I'm how do I put it now? Okay, let me just use the word pastor. It might not really be a pastor. Let's say like a youth minister. You are always up and doing. You go from one program to another.
Yes.
And the wife could not do
Yeah.
that. So is it really compulsory that the wife will be on the same, should I say, momentum as you?
No,
Okay.
no. It's not under most. But look, there are some signs you will see in this person. You know that no, she's a supportive woman.
Like your,
I hope you're getting it now. Yes, she's a supportive woman. You know what she carry inside of her. There are some women that they might not be in the front. They might not be the front line in terms of praying. You might not see them on pulpit, but they command things. They are territorial commanders.
I hear that
When
one.
they get to an yes, Well, when they get to an arena, before their husband mounts the pulpit, you could see that somebody already has saturated the place. God has, an instrument has landed there. You understand? So does that mean the fact that you cannot preach? I don't think we are compatible. Come on. After all, you are the one God called. The only thing is that share the idea with her, and she says that okay, anywhere you go, the blessings of the Lord go with you, the might of the Lord go, and so on and so forth. What compatibility do you need again? What contact? So when you talk, that's what I'm saying is a sensitive matter when it comes to spiritual compatibility. It's unfortunate that people have bastardized it nowadays. All they want, once I'm a pastor, my wife must also be a pastor.
Exactly.
If I cannot preach, she should be able to stand there and preach. That's nonsense. That's capital nonsense. It is not done in that way. It is not done in that way. There are prophets in the Bible, there are men of God in the Bible that we never heard about their wife, and they are doing excellently well. Does that mean the wife did not support them? No. We have a woman called Deborah. The reason why Deborah succeeded in the Bible is because there is somebody called Lapidot somewhere that supported her. Are you getting it now?
Yes,
so that is about spiritual compatibility. Now, when it comes to the emotional compatibility now, hey, God, I love what Mama said. You see, when it comes to heart and head, the rightful decision, the long-term decision that will help and protect the family or the relationship is taking place in the head. But you see this emotion, the one that takes place in the heart, if you are not careful, it might ruin many things. It might ruin many things. So when it comes to compatibility, please be much concerned about the one of the head. Because when it comes to the heart, if you are not careful, our mommies, or let me say the ladies, if you are not careful as a man, you would have, enter into mess, and they will tell you, I don't know that it will be like this. Say, I cannot be just wicked like that to make you fall into this. Why? Because probably the brother listened to the emotion of the sister. So the compatibility you need when it comes to emotion now is the one of the head. Please be very concerned about that. When it comes to critical decision, has she been supportive? Can she stand? What is her values? What is her belief about that? Until you are able to know that, no, I can trust her, I can trust him when it comes to decision. I know she doesn't run emotion. You understand? So, hey. So until that one is taken care of. Hello?
Yes, go ahead, please.
Hello?
Go ahead.
So until that one is taken care of, until that one is taken care of, you might not get it right. So I pray God help us and see us through. But compatibility, these 4 things must be taken care of properly. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir. All right, so I think it still boils down to not necessarily doing the same thing the same way, but respecting and being supportive for each other. Yes, it's been an awesome time, and we're still talking about compatibility. All right, so if you're in the studio and you want to hear your view, please call in. Let's have your view. And if you'd like to drop your comments, please, the comment section is open. So when we talk about compatibility, what does it mean to you? So talking about Excellent Spirit mentioned some levels of compatibility. So we are let's take, for instance, a youth minister and a drug dealer. How about that one on the spiritual? I'm going back to the spiritual compatibility you raised. So there's a whole lot of things to check right now. I'm getting it. So spiritual compatibility might not necessarily mean she can preach, I can preach, but I think it shouldn't be on the level of a youth minister and a drug pusher. So, and every other levels of compatibility you mentioned, they all work hand in hand in the sense that it might not necessarily be that this person is doing exactly what you're doing, but no matter how they are doing it, I think there's a way everything will get to align together with your own value, and that makes the compatibility easy. OJ28, I accepted your call, but I don't know what's happening. I think I accepted your call. Please, you can call in again. Please, if you want to air your view, kindly call in. Let's hear your view. OJ28, I've accepted your call. Hello.
Yeah, hello.
Hey, what's
Hey,
up? Good evening. Good to have you here. It's been a while.
Yeah, it's been a while.
You're
Sure.
always in the comment section, yeah?
The one basic thing which I tend to oppose is the word compatibility amongst human beings.
Okay.
We human beings, we should not I mean demean ourselves and come down to the level of machines. The moment we talk about compatibility, the first thing which comes into our mind is a laptop or a computer or a phone or an iPad or a tablet, whatever. So yeah, so I do not want to degrade ourselves for one. For a better word for compatibility, I would rather substitute that word with adjustment. We all have to adjust with one another.
Adjust.
One is that yeah. See, the basic thing is no one for a man and a woman they were not brought up under the roof with same the set of parents. So each one has been brought up in a different home with a different environment and the jazz. So we have to keeping that in mind. We have to adjust with one another. Yeah, well, I might like soccer or football or even for that matter, I'm a big fan of cricket. But my girlfriend, she does not she cannot uh, tolerate cricket at all. But then over the years, what has happened is we cannot when there's a game of T20. If you guys understand cricket, you all would know what I'm trying to say. In a game of cricket for T20 especially, the last 5 overs are extremely nail biting, tension, stressed out. I get stressed out. Then my girlfriend comes and says, just relax. It's just a matter of the game. But then while doing that, for the past couple of months, I've noticed like she also sits down and watches and she watches the game with me. This is one aspect. On the flip side of it, I for one, I'm an horrible cook. I just cannot cook. I hate cooking. But then when we have our meals, we can we try and watch this thing that culinary this thing competition that happens in Australia. Forgetting the name of the show, and where they have this set time, and people have to cook. The judges cannot set the ingredients and the stuff, and then you just have to and they tell you that okay, I've given you 5 ingredients, prepare a meal. So they have to rack their brains and start cooking the food and within a stipulated time. For me, like watching with her first day was too boring. I was yawning while having my meal per se. But then but then on a period of time, I started enjoying that program. So I can say, hey, this person could have done this or that. I mean, like from the sideline, giving the commentary, it's pretty easy. But then my daughter almost tells me it's not as easy as that. But then she also realized that I'm taking keen interest in this show. So yeah, so that's how the adjustment between the two parties, it kind of it works out over a period of time. So it's not that there's no time frame. There's there's nothing. There's no formula or whatever. But then yeah, it takes time. For some it happens fast. For some it might take time. But yes, adjustments are needed, and if the adjustment while adjusting with one another, it does not mean that a man becomes a henpecked guy, or a wife becomes a yes man kind of a person. That's all I have to say.
All right, thank you so much, OJ28. Though that were good points as well. So he was talking about compatibility. He's trying to say that we humans are not machines, so it's not really possible for us to be compatible, but we can only talk about adjustment. So that was why he made example of how he hates cooking and how we eventually fell in love with a show that has to do with cooking. All right, so yes, adjustment, I agree as well. And like you said, it's not a day thing. So adjustment is something that gets to keep on going while in a relationship. And from there, well, let's say maybe those are the reasons why courtship is important before marriage. All right, Madam Olubukola, you're on the call. Please unmute your mic and let's have you. Hello, ma'am.
Hello.
Good evening.
Yeah, good evening. Hope you can hear me well.
Yes, we can hear you. I think you're driving, or
okay. Yes, please. Yes.
Yeah, I guess.
But I'm on earpiece, so we're fine.
All right.
Okay, so I love the speaker's twist to it, and I was about saying that adjustment. I love that word, adjustment. The truth is, if we keep looking for compatibility, sorry, if we keep looking for that, but there's nobody that will get married. Yes, to an extent, you have to look for some areas of compatibility. But the truth of the matter, and the truth still remains, if we keep looking, because a lot of people use that as an excuse, and then you just dash out of a relationship. Don't forget that this is a relationship of two people from different backgrounds. You're from a different background, the other person is from a different background. The way you're brought up is different from the way the other person. So please, what exactly is that compatibility? And you just hear, we're not compatible. We're not compatible. How many compatibility are you looking for? So the truth of the matter, yeah, I do not disagree that in certain areas, you just look for a ground of not too much, but something. There will be adjustments. You can't tell me that as a married man or as a married woman, you don't get to adjust to certain things for your partner. But just as Madam Modupe said earlier, if you're not enjoying your relationship, then don't think it will get better when you get married.
That's a good point. Yeah, she said so.
If you're not enjoying your relationship, if you're not feeling the lovey, you're not enjoying it, and you're not having fun, do not think that when you get married, it will get better. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yes, please.
Don't think it will get better. It won't get better. It will rather get worse. It will rather get worse. So if it's that ground of this topic is a very deep one, if you'll agree with me. It's a very deep one because so what we are looking for is that ground where we can roll together, where we can vibe together, where I am weak, you're strong, where you're strong, I am weak. That should be our point. So a lot of people get this wrong when they say being compatible. A lot of people get it wrong. So we have to be sure of what exactly we are looking at in terms of being compatible. Do you understand? So it shouldn't be that, because he's not romantic enough, so we are not compatible. Omo, you might not find somebody that is not romantic for you for life. So it depends on what grounds you're looking at when you talk of being compatible. So I stand with try and adjust. Don't just think this is who I am, this is who I am. If you can't take me, then you leave me. If I can't take you, then I leave you. No, that shouldn't be it. You should be able to adjust. Sometimes it's something that we are doing that is wrong. Some people will tell you, I'm stubborn. Take me for who I am. No, nobody wants to put up with your shit. You should be able to let down the shit you're holding so that other people can have chance to, enjoy relationship with you. So it shouldn't be that, I'm stubborn, you should know, I'm not here, you should know. No, that's not it. Try as much as possible, to adjust and, find a balance of being your partner's other side. When he's weak, you're strong for him. And when you're strong, he's weak. So for me, I think the adjustment is something we should all look at too. And people should stop being picky and keep saying that they are not compatible with people.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mama. All right. So yes, Madam Ojukwe actually said something about. Okay, Madam Ojukwe, you're back online.
Okay. So, I think that is what I wanted to say, what you wanted to say. So I said it earlier.
Okay.
That there is no one like 100% compatible, that has this 100% compatibility. And there is no one that has this 100% incompatibility. So they're still saying the same thing, that at least you get along despite the fact that the other party is this, is that. And it's not that because it's like this, so I should now continue to be. And that is why I said you must talk about it. So you talk about it. It's not as if you will now stay, okay, since I'm like this, everybody should just accept me for who I am and this, and just, that is not compatibility. So compatibility is at the same time you know the person for who the person is, and at the same time you talk about it. So there is no one that has this 100%, no one that has this 100%. So along the line, there will be need for maybe this person change, that person change along the line, because we are not 100% compatible. Just like the other speaker said about being physical, spiritual, and all that. So no one has this 100%. You can't say online that, okay, this person must have this, that person must have this before we'll now be compatible. Definitely, even if you're saying in terms of compatibility, you can't say the person is 100%. That's why you married him now. Like it's not possible. Yes. So that was what I wanted to say. So no one has this 100%. So there are still things we accept for each other at the long run. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mama. Thank you so much. Official, you're on the call. Please, you can unmute your mic. Yeah, she actually said something about if you're not finding your relationship in the lovey dovey atmosphere, don't expect magic to happen even in marriage. Official, you're on.
Hello, good evening, everyone.
Hello, good evening. You're welcome. Good to have you. Hello.
How was it? I'm sorry I've not been able to. I'm sorry I've not been able to really participate from the beginning of the show. I've been on the road, so I've not been able to really participate. So I'm sorry about that. But okay, this compatibility stuff. Now, what is compatibility? To me, compatibility is simply the willingness to get along.
Okay.
Now, there have been cases of people that they felt they were compatible during relationship, during courtship. They were compatible. When A thinks about something, B already has it in mind. When B says something, even A would say the same thing, even when you see A. But when they got into marriage, the marriage still crashed. Now, for me, compatibility is the willingness to get along. Now, I'm not saying ignore red flags. So, in fact, pick race, run away when you start noticing red flags. But the thing is, we are all different humans with different perceptions, with different upbringing. Now, let me take the biro and the biro cover for an example. Now, when you call a biro in the settings of biro, you won't bring out a cover that the cover is a biro. Why? Because the cover would not perform the duty that the biro would do. But when the cover comes, the cover is needed when it has to cover the mouth of the biro so that the ink does not get dry. Now, that is compatibility for me. Compatibility is not, oh, she's gentle, he's gentle.
Exactly.
The marriage may still not work. Compatibility is not, she is tough, he is tough. The marriage may still not work. But the compatibility is the ability to get, when one is aggressive, the other one is able to see further than that aggression. He's able to see that, oh, okay, he's aggressive. Okay, this matter, we can settle it in another way, apart from being aggressive. Compatibility is being a shoulder. To be compatible means to have a shoulder to lean on in case you're falling down. So it goes beyond looks. I think I heard I heard it in a person when one of the callers was saying compatibility in looks. I'm sorry, the lady that has figure 8 today, by the time she will put to bed, she will have figure 69.
88 gone.
So if you're going for that figure 8, I'm sorry, that means maybe the relationship will not last, the marriage will not last. And now, if you're going for someone that has high intellect, like probably you are a top working class man, and you feel you should have a woman that is career something like you may not get it right, because by the time you are career driven, she is career driven, then you will leave your children at the mercy of who? At the mercy of nannies who will train them up to become like them, or who. So, for me, whether spiritually, whether physically, in all ramifications, for me, compatibility is simply the willingness to get along. Thank you.
All right. Thank you. Thank you so much. All right. Yes. And it's 4 minutes to end the show. So let me quickly round it up this way. All right, Madam Mojukpe, please, I'd like you to drop 1 or 2 points before I conclude. Please unmute your mic. And 1 minute. Lastly, let's hear what you have to tell us. Are you still online? All right. So, yes, compatibility. It has been a beautiful moment. Yes. And back to what my speaker said initially when she started. Compatibility is not she can sing, I can sing. It's not she loves music, I love music. Compatibility is even when you know that this person has this trait and this is not how you want it, this is not how you are doing it, but you can still blend in and you can respect the fact that this is how this person does his own thing, and this is how I do mine. So let me also say that compatibility can also be something like a word and an opposite thing. So let's take a plug and a socket, for instance. A plug is not the same thing as a socket, but a socket, a plug goes into the right socket and it fits in perfectly. So it might not really be that you have the same you have the same interest, although according to how my speaker defined the common interest does not necessarily mean you like football, he likes football. But when he likes football, you can always just be there, maybe to watch or just to support. So, and with everything everyone has said, adjustment, compatibility is somehow interwoven. So, if there's no willingness, like the last speaker said, to willingness to change, willingness to be flexible, it might not be easy. And at first, there would definitely be something that we all get to see, and that would kind of be like the attraction. So it's not as if we cannot get some things that would blend in, like my speaker said, that nobody is 100% compatible and nobody is 100% incompatible. So somehow um uh we get to what's the word now, we get to blend in. Yes, so we get to blend in with each other somehow. Yes, 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 yes. So lastly, let me quickly welcome. Let me do a shout out to some people here. I think when the show started, I was unable to do a shout out to some people. So let me quickly do a shout out. Favor Chuku, I see you, sis. You're welcome. Comfort Arthur, you're welcome. Daisy, you're welcome, darling. Oriel Fesha, thank you so much. Oluwa Bukola, thank you, Mama, for always being around. BXUSNBXN. All right, you're welcome as well. Ojo Olajide Raymond. Yeah, good to have you, man. Olajide Olajumoke. Yeah, this is a special shout out to you. So I'm just getting to know you today. Good to have you. Good to have you. Thanks for being on the show. I really appreciate this. Olayemi Oladapo. Thank you for being in the studio. Who else can I see? Who else can I see? All right. I think that is all. Okay, yeah, see me Sola. Yeah. Sweet mama. You're welcome. You're welcome. Oluwaseun Pelumi. Thank you, darling, for always being here. Thank you, everyone. So J28 is saying, as there's a saying, love is blind and marriage is an eye opener. Abi now, yeah. Yes, Madam Odupe, this is the word I was looking for. We get to compliment each other. Yes, that's the word. That's the word. So no matter how it is, there's always a room for adjustment. But even before the adjustment, there should be some things we would have seen before we say we want to go ahead with this marriage. Yes. So a lot needs to be put in place. If you are not enjoying the relationship, definitely marriage should be a no-no, because magic does not happen in marriage. We get to time to adjust and get to get one another. So for me, in plain terms, compatibility is more like a word and an opposite thing. A plug and a socket, you know how opposite they are, but they fit in perfectly for one another. Yes. All right, so this is me signing out tonight. I love you all, everybody. Thank you for being part of this show. I wouldn't be here without you. Thank you so much for your love. Thank you so much for always having me on your mind. Thank you. Yes, all right, so let's do this next week, same time. Thank you so much. Signing out, Helen Shugo. I love you all.